Hey, Thomas Bartke here with another video for the Artisan Sound channel. We have West Side Story coming up as our next production on the main stage, and I'm really excited about it. And so I decided to put some documentation videos that are going to be kept short so that you can more easily digest them, about how I go about the music prep and the sound design prep for this show. So my first step here that I've done is create a spreadsheet that logs every single scene, every single music cue, and every single scene change or something that happens inside the scene in terms of requiring a change in the sound setup. So that means mainly it has to do with people exiting and entering and exiting. Okay, so I've logged scenes in column 1 here. Those are the scene numbers. Then I've logged cue numbers. Those are music cue numbers. And then in the prescription, I put mainly those are the titles of the music cues. Or they could also be names of the scenes. If it's not a music cue, then it might be a scene, but most of them are just basically the titles of the music cues. And then I put in here what happens, and particularly what happens within a scene or within a song. And then out further here, I put basically, I started out with just putting the names that are in the scene in by column, sort of. So I didn't start out with having them in a specific column, but I just kind of wrote the whole name here because I didn't know if I was going to have enough microphones for everyone, and turns out I don't. So I just kind of put them somewhere, and as I went, I figured out who needed to be sharing mics and how that was going to be practical and doable in terms of the changeover between scenes. So that's what we have here. And so whenever you prepare for a show, I would strongly recommend that you actually go through this. It's a little bit of work, you know. It took me about an hour to put this together, I suppose. But it really makes for a lot of clarity, and will help you as you go along. So then basically I figured out at least a preliminary version of my mic layout. Here up there in this row, that the numbers are basically the channels of the 16 mics that we're going to be using. And you can see here they're organized kind of, you know, by main characters first, and then other characters kind of starting in channel 9. Well, here there's a bit of an overlap because there's a lot of dialogue scenes going on with all these characters. So that's good when they're on the first 8 channels, so we can use the auto mix feature that is available for the first 8 channels. And then back here, I ended up with the microphones that need to be shared. So, and I organized them so that females share a mic channel and males share a mic channel where necessary. That's going to be better for the general setup for the channel in terms of EQ and compression and so forth. It's going to be easier to manage the mic switch if you keep more similar voices on the same mic and sharing that than if you were to try to share mics between females and males. That's going to be much more tricky to get that set up and working well for both of the shared actors. So the way I did it is just, you know, keeping the male parts sharing sharing channels, and female roles sharing other microphones, and these can all stay the same. It's kind of a strange thing because the whole show, one thing that is weird here is that, let's see, where is my act break? Here's my act break. I had that marked in yellow before. So one thing that is weird about this show is that it seems like when you're looking at the script and when you're looking at the spreadsheet, it seems like that it's way out of balance a larger act 1 than Act 2. So for one thing, these two guys, these two group leaders, Riff and Bernardo, they all die at the end of the first act. So they're no longer there in the second act. But you can see here, I mean, even from the amount of music that's there, from the, I mean, scenes, there are 6 scenes in Act 2 and 9 scenes in Act 1. So it is quite out of balance. And unfortunately, in the first act, you know, we still have Riff and Bernardo, and that's why we kind of run into a little bit of a tight spot here with the microphones for these other characters. But I think we'll be able to, you know, switch between these scenes and create a good plan on how these people are going to hand over their mic packs. So that's it for now. I just wanted to share this with you. It's a really nice and clean setup that gives me a lot of overview of everything that needs to be done. And from here on out, I'll continue to work it and share it with more videos that are short like this one with you later on. Thanks a lot for watching. This is Thomas Bartke signing off.